No, like it was an actual,
Like a business card?
like maybe in the shape of one, but it was like something like I'm thinking like floppy disk that you would just plug in somewhere, put in to your PC. I didn't because I had no knowledge of any of that stuff, and all these
Well,
streamers like, yeah, I got to get a new sound card. I was like, oh, what happened? Did they bend it?
that is a sound card.
yeah. What do you
What,
think a
what
sound
you
card
have
was?
is like a
That's a
what you have is
soundboard.
like a like a
Why
soundboard
does it say
or
sound
like a
card on it?
because to make it easier for nubs.
I like nubs.
Let's wait and see who's the first person in the chat to be. Is like, I can't see you guys. Nightmare's too smart for that. She knows what's up.
She knows what's going
She
down.
knows. She knows the deal.
How's the axolotl?
The what?
What was
Axolotl.
the axolotl?
Axolotl.
There you go.
Axolotl.
Oh, I was like, what's an X-waddle?
Axolotl. I call it an axolotl.
Oh, all right. You guys ready to get this thing started? You guys want to get rolling?
Thought we were rolling.
Well, yeah, I mean we are, but like we haven't. It hasn't officially started. We're on a blank screen, and all people. This is essentially the radio broadcast part of the show because nobody can see anything.
Can they hear us?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Cool.
I'm unmuting us.
Hello, everybody.
All right, Frank, you ready to dance?
Sure.
Here we go.
Do radio show. You just fart?
No. Dance, Frank. Ladies of Tallahassee, that is what you are missing if you aren't hitting the clubs.
I haven't been to
like
a club.
I like the
I haven't been
finger
to a
guns
club
and
in
the pointer.
5 years. Pow pow. I haven't
Pre-COVID.
been to a bar or a club yet in about 5 or 6 years, so they're not missing anything.
Last time I was at a club was when we were in Vegas last year, and my wife and I got fucking housed, man.
I honestly think I would probably be housed after 3 beers. I haven't had a drink in a year.
I think I told that story, didn't I? Or like we took full advantage of the open bar at Dead Mouse. Oh
Yeah.
fuck.
Dead Mouse 5.
Dead Mouse 5. That is right. All right, everybody, welcome to the old program here. Lots of fun things that we got lined up for you. We're going to go over some YouTube poll reviews. We have a couple of different AI poems. We're going to get to some AI poems about some Simpsons episodes. We're going to quiz Lan and Frank on that. Fortunately, they don't have to know the exact name of the episode, but if they can describe the episode and say which one that the poem is about, all the better. We're also going to get some AI poems about the most watched TV shows of all time. It's not that it's... And this is where it's difficult, because, I mean, if you look at, like, the top 25 most watched TV events in the United States of all time, 24 of them are the Super Bowl. And I thought about doing a joke like that, where it's like, check out this poem, and it's literally just describing football every time.
The score was 15 to 32.
Yeah.
They run with an egg in their hand.
Excuse me, I'm very verklempt.
Big men beat each other up on the field while wearing tights
And armor.
and smacking balls.
All right, and things you didn't know. Captain America punching Hitler. We're going to talk about the Zodiac. That is actually the true crime, but also the movie that came out, which oddly did really, really poorly, even though it's a really good movie.
A really good movie, yeah.
With
I
a
enjoyed
big cast as well.
Hulk.
Huge.
Lean on Me, the movie. We're going to talk about Shaquille O'Neal, the Osbournes, the TV show, The Big Lebowski, Beavis and Butthead, Brian Bosworth, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show, and the genius of Terrance Howard. Plus, we're going to do a Ron Howard movie draft. Terrance Howard, Ron Howard, no relation. By the way, I guarantee that Terrance Howard one, I'm going to get comments on. Guarantee when I upload that separately, because I made fun of him in a video that I did about Don Cheadle accepting the role of War Machine, and I poked fun at Terrance Howard. And there's what have you done with your life? You don't know what success is, man. Could you prove it wrong?
At least you know what 1 times 0 is.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least he didn't make up that
1
math
times
is all wrong.
1.
Yeah, 1 times 1.
Also, I have a mission for Frank for next week.
Oh, boy.
I had this in my notes from last week, but I never actually followed through with it. The John Hughes High School fan theory. I want you to look into that.
Oh, yeah.
That's
the
right
one
up your alley.
Ferris Bueller actually went to the high school with the Breakfast Club, which it turns 40 this in like a month, right?
Which one? Ferris Bueller?
Breakfast Club.
It's in like a week or so, I believe.
Okay.
Let me
Collector's item.
let me double check
Don't you
here.
forget about me.
Don't you forget about me. Actually, yeah, it's in 3 days.
Oh,
February 15th. That thing will be turning 40 years old.
I was 3 years old.
That's more important than the day before.
What about the day after?
I think Alan's referencing Valentine's Day.
Hmm.
And we're on a mission to get him a date, right, Alan?
No, you're on a mission to get me those Jordans that come out on the 14th. That only get released in 23 stores nationwide.
And where are these stores?
One's here.
Oh, are you going to go?
One's here downtown. No, I gotta work.
Take the day off.
He didn't want to get robbed.
What a bunch of hooey.
That too.
I kind of feel like I need to move my camera down a little bit here.
Whoa, where are you pointing it down to there, bud?
My tits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, this is all going to be changing though, because
Are you
we're
getting
moving
plastic
forward on the
surgery?
house. At least we're
Yeah.
hoping to. We're hoping that the new house we're going to get. Everything is going to line up. Everything is going to go through. And here in a few weeks, we have a trip planned for the beginning of March. And then once we get back, we'll hopefully be moving. So all of this stuff going to be changing.
Go on.
But anyway, let's get into some YouTube polls here. All right, first one. Which of these movies from 2015 are you watching first? Star Wars The Force Awakens, Jurassic World, Furious 7, or Avengers Age of Ultron? Lan, we'll start with you. Which one do you think won the poll? And then, of course, which one would you actually go with?
This is for both answers. I'll go Age of Ultron.
All right. Frank?
I think people chose Jurassic World.
Well, Lan gets the point, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Age of Ultron. 50% of people voted for that. Coming in
Everybody,
second was
knows
Jurassic
it.
World. Third was Star Wars. And then fourth was Furious 7.
They all suck. Well, besides Avengers.
All right, next one. Would you,
Spoiler.
I got a couple of would you rathers in here. Oh, which by the way, I totally forgot to mention this. I believe you can now post on my YouTube page, I think. I got a message from YouTube saying like your community section, people can now post on there. So, if you guys want, go ahead and take a look and let me know that if you guys are actually able to post over there for me.
On your community section.
Over on I believe. So post away. Have some conversations. All right, here we go. Would you rather have your mom see every message you've ever sent or have your mom see your entire search history? Frank, what do you think won the poll?
I'm going to probably say it was text. I don't know if anybody wants their mom to see their search history.
All right, Lan?
Same.
Both of them going with search history?
Yeah.
No, you guys
Yeah.
went with
No, we
text.
don't want. Yeah.
Trying to find your community.
You're trying to find it?
It's right here, baby.
Yeah, I believe if you just go to the page, there should be that top bar right there.
Yeah. I got
We are the
home,
community. Damn it.
videos, shorts, live, podcast, playlist, posts. I guess it's under post.
I think so, yeah. Are you able to post on there?
No.
Really?
No.
All right. Well, we'll have to take a look at that. Well, okay. Next one. Would you rather be the absolute best at something or be really good, but not the best at most things? Lan, what do you think? What do you think won the poll?
Being best at one thing.
All right. Frank, what do you think?
Say that one more time. My brain just went to mush when you said.
Would you rather be the absolute best at one thing or be really good, but not the best at many things? Basically, are you a jack of all trades, but a master of none?
Yeah. I'll go with the second one. I'd rather be good at a lot of things than just one.
And Frank gets the point. Yeah, 71% of people said that they would rather be really good, but not the best at a lot of things. All right, next up here. What is Joe Pesci's best movie? 4 options. Goodfellas, Lethal Weapon 2, Casino, or My Cousin Vinny? Frank, what do you think won the poll?
Ooh, that's going to be a toss-up between Goodfellas and My Cousin Vinny, but I'm going to go with Goodfellas.
All right, Lan.
Casino.
He's going Casino, and Frank gets the point for Goodfellas.
What was second?
Second was My Cousin Vinny.
Casino
came all the way in at third. And Goodfellas actually kind of ran away with it. Goodfellas came in at 59%. Not enough left for Lethal Weapon, though, man. Okay. Whatever.
Not exactly Oscar-worthy performance there.
Whatever.
Whatever you want, Louis gets.
All right, next one here. Would you rather speak only in rhymes or whispers? Frank, what do you think?
I'd rather rhymes because I think that'd be fun, confusing the hell out of people.
All right, Lan?
I'd go rhymes because it's a good way to make money.
59% of people said that they would rather only speak in rhymes other than whispers. All right, next YouTube poll. Which type of TV show are you most likely to binge? And it's going to be one of those ones where tell me which one you think won the poll, but then also which one you would choose. The 4 options are crime thriller, sitcoms, sci-fi/fantasy, or reality TV. Lan, what do you think won the poll?
Sitcoms.
And which one would you choose? I would assume you're picking sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, Frank, what do you think won the poll?
I think the crime thrillers won, but I binge watch sitcoms, so mine's my personal sitcoms. But I think everybody went with
because Frank doesn't have any streaming service. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, nobody gets the point. Sci-fi fantasy. 36% of people, 32% said sitcoms, 28% said crime thriller. Reality TV, only 4%. Thank you, my audience, for only choosing 4% on reality TV. All right, final poll here. Which of these food opinions is the worst? Ranch goes
Pineapple
with
on pizza.
For the love of fuck. Jesus. Let me get through it. You wonder why it's confusing. Which of these food opinions is the worst? Ranch goes great with everything. Ketchup on eggs, or really anything. Dill pickles are amazing. Or pineapple belongs on pizza. Which of those food opinions is the worst? Frank.
Pineapple on pizza.
All right. Lan.
Ranch goes on everything.
Say what?
Ranch goes on everything. That's horrible.
Frank gets the point. 34% of people said pineapple belongs on pizza. 28% said ranch. 26% said ketchup. And then 11% said dill pickles are amazing. Is the worst
They're
opinion.
amazing.
Is that like the dill or like sweet dough?
By the way, you're going to see kind of a shift in a lot of these YouTube polls because I went to ChatGPT and just punched in like, "Hey, give me some stuff," because I'm trying to load up here because again, I'm going to be out of town coming up here at the beginning of March, and then we're also going to be moving, in that whole timeline as well. So I'm trying to load up on enough on content, which is why these live streams are going to go a little bit longer than we normally do, just because I'm trying to load up on all that content.
But it's load.
About that time, if you guys are ready for some poems. Are you ready for some poems?
Poems.
All right.
Poems?
Let me, let's do that. Matt Groening, celebrating his birthday on February 15th. He was born in 1954. What is funny?
I was laughing about how you said his name.
Why?
I always thought it was. I always, like, growing up, thought it was groaning. Like
Well, I think most people did. I mean, even growing up in Portland, I think we all thought it was until. And there's so many people that were debating that when they said his name in one of my videos. They're like, that's not how you say his name. And I'm like,
how you
dude,
say his name?
you can fucking go to YouTube and he literally says his name. People just like to argue for the sake of arguing. But anyway, to celebrate Matt Groening's birthday, I've got 5 poems here that describe Simpsons episodes. And the guys here are going to have to guess which episode it is. We're going to go back and forth. We will start with Frank. Since Frank is currently in the lead, Actually, no, let's start with Lan, because he's got to catch up. So here we go. Lan, your first poem. A ragtag team, their hopes look grim, till 9 all-stars are brought to win. But fate's prankster, weird and wild, one's hypnotized, another's exiled. Sideburns band, one's head inflates, a hit to the head seals their fate. Which Simpsons episode is that?
The baseball one.
Do you know the name of it?
Where, no, I don't.
All
But if you want a synopsis?
Yeah. Give me
there-
one of the lines from the poem and tell me exactly what it's talking about.
Well, I can't remember the lines from the poem.
Sideburns band, one's head inflates.
Tom Mattingly had to shave off his sideburns, and
Ken
Ended
Griffey
up.
Jr. ends up with gigantism.
yeah, with
Hey, and-
gigantism. And then Daryl.
And in real life, Barry Bonds ended up with a giant head. So
Yeah, that's true. He did. All right, next one coming to you, Frank. Here we go.
okay. What was the name of that episode? Was that like Homer or
yeah,
something?
Homer at the Bat was the name of
That's
that
right.
episode. All right, next one. A stranger sings, the town's deceived. A silver scam they all believe. The track is laid, the thrill is real. But safety checks, a squeaky deal. No brakes, no hope, just fury fright. And Nimoy beams out of sight. Which Simpsons
That
episode
was
is that?
Conan O'Brien's favorite, the monorail.
There you go.
Monorail.
Monorail. Is there a chance the track could bend? Not on your life, my Hindu friend. Yes, Marge versus the Monorail is the name of that episode. All right, Lan, we're back to you. You're still down by 2. Which Simpsons episode is this? The roads are slick. The town's in strife. A jacket's bought. A jingle's life.
Oh,
A rival comes. The stakes get steep. A mountain climb. A frozen leap. A truck is lost, but here's the twist. That name again is hard to miss.
Mr. Plow, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow.
That would be Mr. Plow. I still
Love the part
when
where he
Barney-
sings it's sexy.
oh shit! Look, see, Frank, you forgot to tell me. I've got all the pictures, man.
Oh, hey, pictures.
God. Again, that's why I
What-
need a fucking producer to help me with like the million things I'm trying to do here.
Wasn't the
Frank
monorail
doesn't do
in
shit. What?
and Mr. Plow? Weren't they all like? Wasn't that the same season?
I know they were all early on.
Like 4th, 5th season or
Like
something.
not
like
like
that.
I think like season 3 or maybe 4. Yeah, but like season 3 and 4, I think was the best that you got from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
All right.
Agree.
Coming back to you there, Lan. You ready for this one? Which Simpsons episode is this?
You just did, Lan.
Yeah, it should be.
I did.
Frank.
Oh, I did misspell. Okay, Frank.
Yeah.
I give you your point, right? Yeah, you're 5 to 6. All right, here we go.
10 points for each of us.
A scheme unfolds. The town's enraged. A greedy hand. A son upstaged. Revenge is swift. A villain falls. A mystery spreads through hallowed halls. The culprit's small. The truth's bizarre. A hidden clue inside a jar.
That is who shot Mr. Burns. Excellent.
You are correct.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right, here we go. First one to blurt out their name is going to get the point for this one. Are you ready? Final
Sure.
Simpsons poem, if you will. A secret club, a world elite with
Alan!
yeah. Which one?
It's the Mason one. Damn it. The
You're
one
forget-
with Jack Mason.
You're forgetting the name of the club, aren't you?
Yeah. It was Jackie Gleason who was in it, though, wasn't it?
The Stonecutters.
Yeah.
Who keeps the Martians under wraps? We do. We do. A secret club, a world elite with feasts and chants. His life's complete. He stumbles in, the chosen one. A drainpipe twist. His work is done. The truth stays wrapped. No Martian slips, but power fades as glory dips. And those are your
Yep.
Simpsons episodes. I figured you guys would be able to get most of those because you guys are well versed in the old Simpson knowledge. I guess?
Mythology?
Yeah. Which, by the way,
Considering
again,
we
I
grew
forgot
up
the
with it.
pictures, Frank.
Hey, you forgot the pictures.
Here's your
Hey, don't forget the pictures.
Who Shot
Who
Mr.
Shot
Bu-
Mr.
Mr. Burns? Hey, Maggie
shot-
Simpson.
Exactly.
There you go.
Hey,
There's the Martian. Who keeps the Martians under wraps? We do.
Who rigs every election night? We
do. All right, here we go. We're gonna do a little. We're gonna do some more poems. Here we go.
Yay, poems.
All right, the final episode of MASH is one of the most watched.
Oh,
What?
I was just when you had put this on as possible to do. I had just watched that final episode like a month or so ago, and Jesus, is it dark?
Your microphone broke up there. It sounded. You said Jesus dart.
Jesus,
That's what he said.
is it dark?
Oh, yeah. I mean I mean the episode's
That
called
series-
Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen, and also you got to remember the name of the theme song.
Well, yeah, but that whole sitcom is kind of, it's like, it started out, it kind of wanted to be funny, but then they started going more heavy-handed with the drama stuff, and I
Yeah.
think that's when a lot of people said Alan Alda started taking over, and it's just like it was like bipolar. They'd bounce like a funny, and you would have the laugh track, and then they'd have another episode where it's like they're trying to be serious, and so I don't know what they were going for in that series. But
So these are the most watched television broadcasts in the United States. No Super Bowls. This is the top 10 of essentially kind of programs that were on. Some are actual TV episodes, some are specials, some are like one-off kind of things. So I have 4-line poems here that you guys are going to have to guess. So I'm just going to start reading the poem. If you guys know it, just blurt out your name and then I'll go to you. All right?
uh-huh.
And I'm going to go in. We'll start at number 10. All right? Because the number 1 is MASH. But here we go. Number 10.
Mish.
They found themselves behind a cell for not helping.
Oh, I know it. Seinfeld.
I got to write the instructions down for Frank. Like, holy shit, how are you bad at this? Jesus, man. But yeah, you are right.
Wait,
They
you're
found
supposed to say our
themselves-
name, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to blurt out your name.
Yeah, okay.
They found themselves behind a cell for not helping, so farewell. A final joke, the door is shut. A show about nothing ends just as such. So that was the Seinfeld finale. It aired on May 14th, 1998, and it had 76.3 million viewers.
And it took a lot of heat. A lot of people hated that finale.
I didn't mind it.
I
I'm gonna
didn't
be
either.
completely
It didn't
honest.
bother
I didn't
me.
mind it at all.
didn't
I thought it
bother
was
me.
actually pretty good. All right, here we go. Next
Never
one.
watched an episode.
Number 9. This one's going to be tough. A name once lost, a past reclaimed, a journey paved in tears and chains. The fight still stands, the roots still grow. A story told we need to know.
I got it. It's the root.
Say your fucking name!
I in the third
Jesus.
person Sharples,
What is it?
the fourth son of the planet Mercury.
Oh my god. What is it?
It's Roots.
Which episode?
The finale with
yeah,
when
like,
LeVar
I mean,
Burton,
was it 8 parts? Because that was Roots Part 8.
where LeVar Burton ascends to the
Reading Rainbow?
Enterprise and becomes
He becomes Jordy.
Jordy. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Roots Part 8, and it aired on January 30th, 1977. It had 76.7 million viewers. All right, next one. Here we go. The flash, the fire, the sky burns white. The world's worst fears now shown in light. A warning sent, but will they hear, or just tune out in blissful cheer? What was that 8th most watched TV event in the United States? Any
One more
guesses?
time.
The flash, the fire, the sky burns white. The world's worst fears now shown in light. A warning sent, but will they hear, or just tune out in blissful cheer?
No idea.
Sharples. I'm gonna take a guess here. Was
Yeah.
that Leftovers?
It was not. Do you guys
Something
remember?
religious, right?
Do you guys remember the day after?
Ah, yeah.
November 20th, 1983. It was that episode that is like the nuclear Holocaust hit.
Yeah.
And like
yeah.
everybody was watching it, and it was 77.4 million people checked that thing out.
Was that done on just one network, or didn't like all the networks agree to show it?
No,
at
I
the
think it
same
was just
time?
on NBC.
Okay, because that was one that we had to watch in middle school with Steve Guttenberg.
Oh yeah, the Gutenberg. Oh, I'm sorry,
And John
it was on ABC.
Lithgow.
Yeah.
It was on ABC.
John
yeah.
Lithgow was in it. There
Which
was
by-
a bunch of like big time stars. From
Have
the
you
80s.
heard that John Lithgow actually see, Frank, you got to remind me. Here you go.
Pictures?
There you go. Yeah, John Lithgow is in final talks to play Dumbledore in the new Harry
for the
Potter
series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
wow.
that.
All right, so there's your day after. This was Roots.
The Roots.
And then, of course, here you had your Seinfeld final episode.
Seinfeld.
All right, so now we're down to number 7 here.
Don't forget
The
the,
next-
picture.
Poem.
Poem.
One took the ice, the world stood still. Another watched with bitter will. A triple twist, redemption spun, but why it happened, still not done. Tony, some of these are a little wonky.
One more time.
One took the ice, the world stood still.
Oh,
Yes. You're gonna say you're gonna say your name like you're supposed to.
Sharples.
You're gonna,
Your
you're gonna
name.
play the game the way you're supposed to play the game, Frank.
Son of Exile. That's the U.S. versus USSR, right?
No, but you're on the right path. 1994 Winter Olympics ladies singles figure skating.
Ah, wow. Okay.
It aired on February 23rd,
Xena the Warrior Princess.
94. 78.8 million people tuned in. My skate, you guys, my
Look
skate.
at my skin. I need to go back to the Clackamas Town Center and practice more.
So total
After
random
this-
thought here that nobody else
Lord.
is going to pick up on unless you went to Sunrise Junior High with me and Alan. I just remember Bob Koo being obsessed with Tanya Harding. Because
Look
she
at
was
those
from
gams.
Portland. She was from Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, she was from
And he had this weird thing for her, man. Oh.
I'm sure he got excited when her sex tape came out.
All right, here we go. This one you guys should get. Number 6 most watched TV event in the United States of all time. The bar's still there. The lights stay low.
Sharples.
Yeah?
Cheers.
Cheers.
The bar's still there. The lights stay low. A final round before they go. Some look back, some move ahead, but where everybody knows your name is said.
I will say
I thought
that
you were gonna say it's dead.
that series finale is probably one of the better ones. It, like nothing crazy happens, nothing whatever. It's just they all go back. Woody becomes a city councilman or whatever it is. They all they have new things in their lives, but they're not going to leave the bar. And then it just ends with Sam realizing that the bar is his first love.
Yep.
And someone tries to come in. And he's like, "Sorry, we're
We're
closed."
closed.
But apparently they got schnocked waiting for that series to end, because remember they went on Leno afterwards and it was live, and they all got obliterated. And if you watch that Leno, because it was live, they are all wasted off their friggin' gourd, dude.
All right. Well, I know what I'm watching
Leno
when we're
was
done with the live
pissed.
stream.
Leno was pissed.
All right, so that was Cheers. The episode was called One for the Road. It had 80.5 million viewers. It aired on May 20th, 1993.
Did y'all watch that when it came out?
I very sporadically, I think, watched Cheers back in the day. It wasn't
Well, I
one
mean,
of my
the series
go-tos.
finale.
And even the season finale, I think I've maybe watched it on YouTube.
I was too young to watch that, but my dad was big on it. But I remember being in middle school and a bunch of these kids were saying they were going to watch it. So I told my dad, I was like, I got to watch it. And he's like, really, you want to watch it? And I was like, yeah. And I'd never seen an episode before, so I watched the whole thing and I had no clue what the hell was going on.
All right, we are to number 5. This one I don't think you guys are going to get, but here we go. Inflation soared, the Cold War brewed. 2 men stood firm, their points reviewed. One leaned in and calmly smiled. Well, there you go again, defiled. I'll give you a hint on this one. This event aired on October 28th, 1980. Inflation soared, the Cold War brewed. Two men stood firm, their points reviewed. One leaned in and calmly smiled. Well, there you go again, defiled. No
I'll
guesses?
Alan, I'll take a guess.
Yeah.
What is it? The presidential debate or something?
Carter Reagan debate, baby. 80.6 million
Lord.
viewers.
I would never guess that.
All right, here we
going
go.
for,
We're
like,
down to
Rocky.
number 4.
This man alive!
Number 4, the most watched television broadcast in the United States, not including Super Bowls. A shot rang out. The world stood still. For months they guessed who aimed to kill. The answer dropped. The ratings soared. It was her.
Sure,
Yeah.
Dallas?
Did you say it first?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. You are correct, sir. Yes, Dallas. Who done it? The final line would have given it to you. It was all her. It was her all along.
Yeah.
J.R. floored is how the poem wraps up. That aired on November 21st, 1980 with 83.6 million viewers. Dude, people were fucking glued to their TVs in 1980, man.
Well, there was only like 4 channels.
You're not wrong.
It's true. All right, here we go. Number 3. A stage is set, the tempers rise. One throws shade, the other sighs. A war of words, a nation split, yet somehow tweets outlive the wit. This one happened within the past 10 years.
Yeah, I would think with tweets.
Well,
One more time. One more time.
a stage is set, the tempers rise. One throws shade.
That's Sharples. It's the Trump presidential debate with was it with Clinton?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first Clinton-Trump debate, 84 million viewers, and it occurred on September 26th, 2016. All right, here we go. Last one. So remember, we're counting down essentially the most watched television broadcasts in the United States, not including Super Bowls. Number 1 was MASH. That's celebrating its anniversary coming up here on February 28th. 1983 was when MASH aired. Number 2, the one right behind MASH. Oh, wait. And again, I forgot the pictures, Frank!
Hey, I keep forgetting. I'm so
God.
busy thinking about
All right, so here's your Jimmy Carter Reagan debate. Here is your JR. Tonight, find out who shot JR. And then here is your Trump Clinton.
Bad. I keep forgetting the pictures. It's bad. They're great.
Is that Trump?
That was Hillary. I was doing Hillary.
All right, here we go. Number 2. Green screens glow, the missiles fly. A war unfolds before our eyes. Live from rooftops.
Oh, Sharples.
Yes.
That was the invasion of Iraq. Or Desert Storm. Excuse me.
You are correct, sir. Yeah, dude. It was the Gulf War coverage. 85.6 million viewers. The poem goes, green screens glow, and that was all the missiles that you would see with the night vision there. The missiles fly. A war unfolds before our eyes. Live from rooftops, fear runs deep. While cameras roll, the world can't sleep. And the big day on where everything aired, January 16th, 1991.
And it was
Roof
CNN
truck.
who had all the pictures because no other agency was in Baghdad at that time or had been knocked off the air out of there. So CNN got all the...
CNN. Look at Frank.
You don't remember that movie
Daily
HBO
Power
did?
Fridge computer.
About 20 years ago, HBO did the movie about it with Michael Keaton playing one of like the producer that was there. It was kind of like his comeback, beginning of his
Vaguely
comeback.
remember that. I don't think I ever watched
decent-
it, but I remember hearing
It was a
about
decent
it.
HBO movie. It was a decent HBO movie.
All right. Time to move on to some better things.
Look at Bucky. Holy crap, he looks like a ventriloquist doll.
He does. Captain America punching Hitler. Celebrating
You leave Jack Kirby alone, damn it.
celebrating an anniversary coming up here. So some things that you did not know about this comic. It was released before the United States even entered World War II. Captain America Comics #1 was published 9 months before the U.S. officially entered World War II. after the attack on Pearl Harbor in December of 1941. At the time, many Americans supported isolationism, and the idea of actively fighting Hitler was controversial. The comic was boldly pro-intervention, showing Captain America punching Hitler as a clear stance against Nazi Germany before America had even joined the war. The creators received death threats. Writer Joe Simon and artist Jack Kirby, both of whom were Jewish, received threats from Nazi sympathizers and American isolationists who opposed the comic's anti-Hitler stance. History repeats itself, it seems. The threats were so serious that police were stationed outside Timely Comics, that was Marvel's predecessor, outside their offices in New York for protection. Marvel's publisher, Martin Goodman, also supported the decision to continue publishing Captain America as an anti-Nazi symbol. Where am I at here?
Don't forget your pictures.
Oh, I got them, baby. And the copy actually sold millions. It was a huge success at the time. Millions. The first issue of Captain America Comics was a massive commercial hit, selling over 1 million copies, which was a rare feat for comics in that era. The success of the issue cemented Captain America as one of Marvel, which was then Timely Comics' biggest superheroes, and led to the creation of other wartime heroes. Captain America quickly became a symbol of American patriotism, with later stories showing him fighting Nazi agents and saboteurs on U.S. soil, like the Red Skull. Am I right?
I like my dude in the background just ignoring everything that's happening behind him. Like, all hell's breaking loose.
Oh, the dude on the radio?
Yeah, he's focused on his job.
Oh, just wait.
He's the one guy.
There's one picture that on one of the other topics we have coming up on the live stream. There is one other picture that I'm like, with Frank's attention to detail on these, if you don't point something out, it's going to upset me. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But here we go. Bonus fact, the cover was inspired by political cartoons. The famous image of Captain America punching Hitler was influenced by political propaganda cartoons at the time, which often depicted Hitler as a buffoonish or cowardly villain. Simon and Kirby wanted the cover to instantly grab attention and establish Captain America as a proactive, take no prisoners hero.
So what is with that last line?
Which one?
We will if we keep him firing. And he's got his butt bent over.
I don't know, but I really like the let's catch him with his panzers down.
Yeah, his panzers down.
Panzerfaust.
That's yeah. All like it just reminded me too. Landon, I just finished Sniper Elite Resistance last night. Now we got to go back and replay it on a harder difficulty. Good game though.
There you go.
All right, you guys ready?
We are at 80.
You know what time it is?
Time to bust a rhyme.
Howdy doody.
It's Ron Howard movie draft time, everybody.
Ron Howard.
And this is how unprepared I was, considering I got lots of other things down. I do this because they celebrate birthdays. Or something. There's something else coming up. Oh, yeah, March 1st, 1954. Ron Howard's birthday. So we're going to do a little movie draft here. And if we take a look at the scores, Frank in the lead. So Frank will get to go first. Big Land will get to go second. I will go third. And if you did not know, the way that this works is we do it draft style. We're picking a triple feature. And all we're trying to do is build the best triple feature. But since it's draft style, once one is off the board, it's gone, baby. Nobody else gets to pick it. So Frank, what is your first choice?
I know there's going to be some that are going to be taken because he's got a good little selection here. I'm going to start off with I'm going to go backdraft. I'm going to start off with backdraft.
Ah, interesting choice.
I enjoy backdraft. It makes me
warm.
Feel warm. It makes me feel warm inside.
Kurt Russell, baby. You never go wrong with Kurt Russell. All right, so he's going backdraft. Lan, what is your first choice in your Ron Howard movie draft?
My first choice is Willow.
Oh, I was gonna guess. I was gonna tell you I could totally guess what your movie was gonna be, and I knew what it was, and it was Willow.
Willow.
Willow. He went with Willow.
Quilo.
All
Look at my
right.
stick.
Now I get to go back to back. And this is where I just pull into the lead and dominate you
to back.
guys.
Back to
Because my number one pick,
back. Gung Ho.
Gung Ho, baby.
It is such a good movie, though.
That is a good movie.
I always remember that scene where the guy gets his hand crushed. Scared the I'm like, why would anybody ever want to build cars? Like, if there's a risk of getting your hand crushed,
Hey.
like, why would you do that?
At least it was only crushed.
Oh, it was terrifying, man. And you got George Wendt on that one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so Gung Ho will be
Norm.
my first one. And then my second choice is going to be Apollo 13.
Houston, we have a problem.
All right, we're back to land. What is your second choice in your Ron Howard movie draft?
I'm gonna go with
American
Far and
Graffiti.
Away.
Oh.
What?
Very watched. Yeah.
Far and Away, a Ron Howard film. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman.
Great movie. Great flick.
I don't think I've ever seen Far and Away.
That's good.
I've only seen the ending where they're running to get their spot of
The
land.
land.
Yeah.
You got to see some Nicole Kidman side boob action in there.
Well, you get to see all the boob in their other movie later in the decade.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Eyes Wide Shut. You get to see the freakness of them.
Yeah, but this was like you said, a decade before that. So
All right, Frank, you get to go back to back. What are you going with here for your Ron Howard movie draft?
Okay. So the first one I'll go with Splash.
Oh, a little Daryl
Really
Hannah and
Flash.
Tom Hanks action, huh?
And don't forget John Candy.
sploosh.
And then Disney decided to edit out her boobs underneath the hair for
They
some
did.
reason when it came to
They
Disney
did.
Plus.
Yeah, and it was her butt.
Oh, that too. And then the last one, give me back my son. It's gonna be Ransom.
Oh, you're taking ransom? Damn it!
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
taking ransom. Give me back my son.
More than
Come
like,
down there, Doc.
it bothers me that he's such a lunatic because I really like Mel Gibson movies, man. Like the more
an
that I
actor.
was,
I mean,
Thinking
he
about,
played
like,
a lunatic
Ransom-
in all his movies. You didn't see it then?
huh? Well,
I said he
yeah,
played a
okay,
lunatic in all his
well,
movies.
I mean, kind of being an anti-Semite.
Yeah, I mean, you meant the anti-Semitism. Is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you
I'm
can't go
going-
behind.
Like, did you see him recently? But I like how I put the subscribe button as I'm talking about it.
Right there, yeah.
There it
Give me
is.
back my son. Subscribe.
Give me back my son! My wife and kid are probably wondering what the hell's going on back here. All right, Lan, what's your third and final movie?
My third and final movie, I'm gonna go with Cocoon.
Nice.
Ooh, I always love the
Ooh.
memes that are like
He was
Paul
only,
Rudd's
like-
the same age as
Yeah,
Wilford,
Wilford
What's that
Brimley.
guy?
Yeah, in this movie. Yeah. He's
It's
like
God,
52.
like what happened back then, man? Jesus.
That one gave a shit. They were like, whatever, I'm old. Get used to it.
Oh my God. All right. Here are
Diabetes.
some honorable mentions. We did have, like I said, American Graffiti. He's in that one.
Right.
One,
what,
he did the
introduced Harrison
whole
Ford, right?
series of Dan Brown books, like Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons. Which, by the way, have you guys ever read those books?
Nope.
No.
Angels
the
and
book?
Demons, as far as the book is concerned, I mean, they were both really good, but I enjoyed Angels and Demons way more. Way more. Have you guys ever heard
You
of
know
this
what-
one?
A Papel? No.
I had never heard of this before, and I feel like I need to go watch this now.
No, Marissa Tomei.
Speaking of lunatics, Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
He turned into his character from Independence Day. That's what happened.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when they do all sorts of sexual, stuff to you when you get abducted.
You also got A Beautiful Mind, Frost Nixon, but what I am going with here is we'll go Ron Howard, go Parenthood.
Parenthood.
Yeah, right.
Great movie.
Keanu Reeves, baby.
Joaquin Phoenix. He's
Rick
in there,
Rick
the little kid.
Moranis. All right, so here are your triple features for the Ron Howard movie draft. Frank has Backdraft, Splash, and Ransom. Lane has
Splash.
Willow, Far and Away, and Cocoon. And then I have Gung Ho, Apollo 13, and Parenthood. Yeah, see? Yeah, it's Ron Howard movie draft, see? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
I always like starting out segments with this one because it just reminds me of The Mask.
Thought you were gonna say Scrub.
Nah, The Mask. Because remember The Mask came out when all the big ska and swing stuff was going on. But right now, what we are
When it was
talking
making
about,
its comeback.
huh?
When the swing music was making its comeback for like the 6 months that it ran everything.
With Brian Setzer Orchestra. And...
Setzer and what was the other band? The
Cherry
Zoot
Poppin'
Riot?
Daddies.
Yeah,
Cherry Poppin' Daddy.
Cherry Poppin' Daddies. All right.
There was one other one too, but I can't remember them. They did that song
Squirrel
like
Nut Zippers.
what? Yeah, the Hell song or whatever. It
Yep.
was.
I liked those songs. Those were good songs, man.
They're
Scots
good, but
and-
I mean, it was a small time period.
But smooth transition now to Zodiac. It was released on March 2nd, 2007. The budget was anywhere from $65 million to $85 million. It only made $84.7 million at the box office. And
I
you
don't remember it
have
coming out.
Iron Man and Hulk. I'm just saying.
Wasn't
Yeah,
that
in the movie? Yeah.
wasn't that before they were both Iron Man and
Well,
Hulk?
yeah, it was
Like, that movie came out
2007.
before?
This was right
Yeah.
before Iron Man came out. So,
Right before.
All right, the before.
all right. So we're gonna do a little fact versus fiction on this one.
That's Drew Carey's brother.
It is. Arthur Lee Allen as the Zodiac Killer, the fiction. The movie strongly implies that Arthur Lee Allen was the Zodiac, especially in the final scene, where survivor Mike Magoo, can't remember if that's how you pronounce his name, identifies him in a
Magoo.
photo lineup. Excuse me. But the fact is, Arthur Lee Allen was a prime suspect, but he was never charged due to lack of conclusive evidence. His DNA and handwriting did not match the Zodiac's letters. So the truth is, real investigators never proved Allen's guilt, and the case remains unsolved.
I like that he has a calendar for February 1980 behind him.
Hell yeah. I wonder if they... Because I know that I was... Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's a correct calendar because I was born on March 17th on a Monday.
On a Monday.
On a Monday. All right. Next up, the creepy basement scene. Fiction. The movie dramatically invents a scene where journalist Robert Graysmith is lured into a basement by a man who may have written the Zodiac's letters, creating an intense horror-like moment.
Ooh.
The fact is, there is no documented evidence that Graysmith ever had a terrifying basement encounter with a Zodiac suspect. This was a suspenseful Hollywood edition meant to heighten the tension, but it never actually happened.
This is where he met the Scarlet Witch.
Yes. Next up, the Zodiac's letters and ciphers. The movie suggests that all of the Zodiac's cryptic messages were solvable, hinting that the truth was always just out of reach for investigators. But the fact is, while some of the Zodiac ciphers, like Z408, were solved early on, others remain unsolved to this day. The Z340 cipher wasn't cracked until 2020, long after this movie was even released. Some of Zodiac's messages are still a mystery, and his identity remains unknown. So you forget that Iron Man took on the Zodiac.
And lost. He got drunk and
Look at his neckerchief.
disappeared.
And his corduroy
70s.
jacket. So Paul Avery's feud with the Zodiac. The movie exaggerates Paul Avery's fear, showing him spiraling into paranoia and alcoholism after being threatened by the Zodiac. The fact was, while the real Zodiac did send Avery a Halloween card in 1970 that said, "You are doomed," Avery continued working and eventually moved on from the case. Avery was targeted by Zodiac, but he wasn't obsessed in the same way Graysmith was. And finally, the ending and the identity of the Zodiac Killer. The film strongly suggests, again, that Arthur Lee Allen was
Lyle.
the Zodiac. Huh?
It's Lyle from David Letterman.
Jimmy Simpson, dude. I'm telling you, I was gonna bring that up. Jimmy Simpson is fantastic, and I didn't even know that he did that character on Letterman show. It was Lyle the intern.
Yeah.
There's a whole YouTube video of just him, all his segments
tell
clipped
ya.
together. It is ridiculously fun. Dude, Jimmy Simpson, I'm telling you, probably notice him. He's a McPoyle from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I love Jimmy Simpson, dude. That guy, he does not get the credit that he deserves. He is a fantastic actor. Comedic,
You
dramatic,
and a couple
all
of
of it.
chicks.
So the real life, I think it's Mago. I haven't seen this movie in ages. His identification was shaky, and police never had enough solid evidence to formally charge Allen. The Zodiac killer was never caught, and again, his identity remains unknown.
I know who did it.
Who did it?
The Clintons.
You're right.
It was the Democratic Party, man. I'm telling you right now. Those wily sons of bitches.
Fool me can't get fooled again.
Yeah, fool me
Fooled
once. You can't fool me
Shame-
again. You know. Now watch.
shame
Now
on
watch
me.
me. Watch me hit this. Watch me hit this ball.
Watch me
Whap.
hit this ball.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, man. I don't think we appreciate it. I mean, like Republicans did. And I am neither Republican nor Democrat, but I know I personally did not appreciate George W. Bush when he was in
Did
office.
you see him at the inauguration when he's sitting there and he's just like
Oh, he starts smiling?
amazed that he's smiling,
Oh
and
my
now
God.
it's like a meme everywhere. Like when
Oh.
you see the salsa and chips coming to your table at the Mexican restaurant.
Yeah,
like,
And guys,
you see the goth girl walk by and she has to bend over and pick something. You see,
Frank is literally just telling us the kind of memes that Instagram pushes towards
oh
his feed
yeah,
at this
it's
point.
so wild, man.
All right, moving on. I figured this was the perfect music as we talk about things
We're
that you
gonna
probably
Lean
did
on
not
Me.
know about Lean On Me.
Love this movie.
It was released on March 3rd, 1989. The budget was $10 million. Made $31 million at the box office. Now, some things that you did not know. Morgan Freeman was the first and only choice for Joe Clark. Director John G. Avildsen, same guy that directed Rocky, he knew that Morgan Freeman was the perfect fit for the role. Freeman had already played a tough educator in Stand and Deliver in 1988 and had a commanding presence that matched the real Joe Clark's personality. Joe Clark himself later praised Freeman's performance, calling it powerful and authentic.
You used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman.
The real Joe Clark was just as intense in real life. The movie portrays Joe Clark as a strict, no-nonsense principal who uses a bullhorn and a baseball bat to maintain order at Eastside High School in New Jersey. In reality, Clark did carry a bullhorn and bat, and his authoritarian leadership style was controversial. Some praised him for transforming the school, while others criticized his harsh methods, including expelling hundreds of students in one day.
I have a question. The movie was based off of him doing it in New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
But they did it in Miami.
Is that
for
where?
the movie? Yeah, because the movie's like based in Miami.
I didn't think it was.
Is it really?
Yeah,
All right, now I got to
I
fact
believe
check
so.
Frank.
Or am I getting my other like?
I think you're
where
thinking
the
of Dangerous
principals come
Minds.
in and, no, that was California.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was
Todd
yeah.
Burgin did The Substitute, where it's also in Miami, and he beats the crap out of Mark Anthony.
That was a Martian.
No, no, it takes place in New Jersey. What goddamn movie?
Did
are
it? Why
you
did I
talking-
think it? Why did I think it was Miami?
Was it all the palm
maybe that-
trees
oh.
and bikinis
No, maybe that was the other one you were talking about.
And the Hurricanes.
and the hurricanes? Yeah, watch out
And the
for the storm
hurricanes.
surge. Well, the manatees that swim by the school.
Could have sworn it
Those
was
damn
Lean on Me.
manatees are such a bad influence on these kids.
If anybody's watching this and you are like have a same track of brain that Frank does, let us know what he's talking about when he's talking about Miami.
What was the other the movie that he did with
Stand and
that
Deliver.
you said? Maybe that's the one I was thinking of.
I think Stand and Deliver was in LA though.
Was it?
Critical Thinking.
No, I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was done in Miami.
Yeah, because Critical Thinking came out in 2020.
No, I thought Lean on Me was based out of something out of Miami, out of like one of their high schools down there that was notoriously bad. But
Oh, good
maybe I'm
Lord.
getting stories. Maybe I am thinking of Tom Bergeron kicking Mark Anthony's ass. As
Yeah!
the Ghostbuster was bringing drugs through the school. Ernie
Was
Hudson.
Mark? I thought Mark. See, now we're just falling down this rabbit hole. I thought Mark Anthony was in Dangerous Minds.
He was, but he was also in The Substitute. He plays with the Chicano, who is working with the principal. They're filtering drugs through the school.
And now come
And
to
Tom
find
Berenger.
out, since he was a criminal, the whole reason that J-Lo hooked up with him because she apparently just loves criminals.
I mean, and he's only 5'3", so
P. Diddy. What?
she actually I said he's only 5'3", so she looks down on him.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah,
next
so
up.
that's the whole. And then Tom Bergen's a Navy SEAL that kicks everyone's ass.
Next up here, this is going to shock you guys, but the movie dramatized some events for storytelling. All right. While the real Joe Clark did lock the school doors to prevent drug dealers from entering, the actual event wasn't as dramatic as the movie depicts. Some of the expelled students were allowed back after community protests, something the film doesn't show. The famous scene where Clark is arrested for chaining the doors is somewhat exaggerated. In real life, he faced legal trouble but wasn't dramatically removed from the school like in the movie. The school choir's performance of Lean On Me was added for emotional impact.
You see who's in the left part of the picture there?
Who, Frank? Who?
It's the dude from Sopranos.
Oh, yeah,
Michael Imperioli.
What's his name?
Michael Imperioli. That's the
Yeah,
one when we were
Imperioli.
talking earlier.
Yeah.
And I said there's one picture because Frank always looks in the background on these things. And when I saw that, I'm like, I really hope Frank points this out.
The other guy looks like he doesn't want to be there. The guy to the right in red. He's
No,
like,
half of them
"Hell,
don't look like they want
he's
to be
like,
there.
They told me this was going to be in Miami. I didn't know it was actually New Jersey.
Either that or this dude right here is like, why doesn't this chick get her arm on me?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
the
man.
school choir's performance of Lean On Me was added for emotional impact. The choir's rendition of Lean On Me became one of the most memorable moments of the movie. Although East Side High, not in Miami, had a real music program, the scene was fictionalized to add emotional depth. I'm always going to think of Miami when I see this movie now. The
You're
song
welcome.
choice tied perfectly into the theme of unity, mentorship, and second chances.
Look at those Miami kids in their
Jesus.
bright colors.
I
They're gonna go to
would
the-
literally, I would lose it right now if one of these kids in the background was wearing a Miami Hurricane shirt. And finally, Joe Clark resigned shortly after the movie was released. The real Joe Clark left East Side High in 1990, just 1 year after Lean On Me premiered. He took a job in corrections, working as a director of a youth detention center where he applied his strict discipline methods. Clark remained a controversial yet respected figure, often giving speeches on education reform and leadership until he's passed away in 2020.
Wow, he had a good run.
Yeah.
So, funny thing about that we're talking about this. My sister sent me a reel on Instagram, and remember the part where Joe Clark finds the guys in the bathroom and he tells them to sing the school anthem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She sent me a reel of those guys who sang that. They're an R&B group called Riff, and they had like they reenacted that part. Like,
now they
I don't know. Yeah, like I don't know, maybe it was like a year ago or something. And then it has, the same big dude, big kid, the same guy who was in Juice. He was in there too. He wasn't singing, but he was just there to observe them singing.
He was there
And it was in a bathroom.
He was there for historical accuracy.
Yes.
Did they go to the beach after that?
And it was freaking amazing.
Yeah, they went to the Jersey Shore.
It was the Jersey Shore Snooki.
Only Frank would confuse the Jersey Shore for Miami Beach. Now, technically,
T-shirt time.
I was gonna say, technically, Jersey Shore, they did both. Like, was it season 2 or season 3? They were down in Miami. I still
They
remember
let
when I
those
lived down
Guidos
there.
down here.
That when I would live down in Miami and they were filming the show down there, there's people that I worked with that actively would go down there trying to look for him.
Jesus.
All right, moving on.
T-shirt time.
What do we want to do for Shaq here? Let's do this. This is really good Shaquille O'Neal music,
Don't
right?
forget your pictures.
Oh, I got my pictures, baby. Check this out.
There you
Shaquille. I'm telling you, reason I picked like a picture like this, people forget how
skinny.
athletic he was, because most people only remember him for, his later career.
After he blew up.
God, man, but back when he was with the Magic and then even the early time with the Lakers, like that, he was just a freak.
I was scared of him when they were showing highlights of him from LSU.
So he was
just dominating people.
He was born on March 6th, 1972. Do you remember remember when G.I. Joe's was a thing? Not the toy, but the store?
The store, yeah.
And
They had a Ticketmaster there.
That was one of the reasons we would always go. That's where I bought the tickets for the Hard Knock Life tour. They had his Reebok shoes, and the one on display, it was always his
Size.
shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my head fit in it. Thing was huge, man. So here's some things that you might not know about Shaquille O'Neal. He almost became a U.S. Marshal. In 2005, Shaq was sworn in as a reserve officer with the Miami Beach Police Department. Actually, I lived down there while he got that. He has also been a reserve sheriff's deputy in Los Angeles and in Florida and in Georgia. He even completed training at the FBI Academy and once said that if he hadn't become a basketball player, he would have pursued a career in law enforcement. I'm assuming the only thing he couldn't. I'm assuming the only thing he couldn't do is be undercover.
That woman looks like a kid.
Did I save the one picture that I really wanted with him?
I think
And his hand looks like it could just crush the Bible. He could just go.
So there was an old meme. I wasn't able to find a high resolution of it though. But it was a picture of like him and his girlfriend, and she barely comes up to his waist. And then somebody drew on the picture, like they estimated the size of his
Johnson.
Yeah,
His
Shaq,
Shaq?
the size of his O'Neal.
Of his Penny
And
Hardaway.
then it showed, and then it compared that
His little
to
Penny.
And then it compared that to her, and like it put the size on her stomach, and it was like it would have come up to here.
Well, let's be honest. What if it was found out that my man was only packing a little pickle?
Define
Like-
little for him, or are you talking like
everyone's expecting that thing to hang down to his ankles, right? But what if that thing was like?
I don't think you're expecting it to hang down to his ankles. I'm just thinking that when you're
at least the
7'1",
kneecaps.
you're
At least the kneecaps.
yeah, you're
So-
built like a forearm.
So what if it's just like maybe to like his mid thigh?
That's still like that.
That's still huge, though.
Okay, so go a little
Wait,
shorter.
hold on. You think mid thigh is a little?
I'm just averaging it
Jeez,
out to
Frank, what are
myself.
you-
Okay, so I'm looking at where my thigh is right now.
Sorry,
Frank's like, that's little compared to me.
Jesus, okay. What,
Was
does
it
yours
just in
touch your
Miami?
knee?
Huh?
Does yours touch your knee?
I'm gonna plead the fifth. on this conversation.
Well, you're like
We're talking about
mid thigh, dude. Okay, a thigh is like that long.
yeah.
Half of it's still that. I love how we're supposed to be talking about Shaquille right now. We fell down this.
Well, we are on
But
some
dude,
level.
like,
I mean,
really?
we actually are.
You're like, what if he's got a little pickle and it only hangs down like halfway down his thigh? How long's your
Look
thigh?
how big his thigh is on that picture.
Moving
Half the size of that
on.
woman.
Moving on. By the way, if your Johnson hangs down mid thigh, comment below.
You're gonna get 1,000 comments
All
of
these
everybody
guys
going
gonna be
me,
like, "I
me,
am."
and then one guy going not me, but wish it was.
Or all these women who are like, God, I hope not. All right, Shaq owns a lot of businesses. He's a major franchise owner with investments in restaurants, gyms, and car washes. At one point, he apparently owned over 150 Five Guys burgers and fries locations, making up 10% of the company's franchises. He also owns Big Chicken.
Big
That's
chicken.
what this picture is. A restaurant chain that he founded and has investments in Papa John's, Krispy Kreme, and even a few nightclubs.
Very smart. Because how many NBA players, former NBA players, do you know that went broke?
Well, I mean, he is very smart. He has a doctorate. In 2012, Shaq earned a doctorate in education from Barry University in Miami. Apparently, that's a real school.
See, Miami.
His There you go. And he locked a bunch of kids in the school, like lean on me. His
It's down to his knee.
His dissertation focused on the value of humor in leadership and business. Despite his playful personality, he took his studies seriously and was often seen attending classes in person.
Now, is Barry University still around, or is that one of those that went under?
Let's look it up. Barry University. It's in Miami, Florida. Yeah, apparently it's not that easy to get into. Only 60% acceptance rate. It's been around since 1940.
Wow.
All right. What's their
Do they have
mascot?
a football team?
You can get into UTEP easier than that. UTEP's acceptance is like 99%. Also, did you know that he released a platinum rap album?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Platinum, by the way.
Boom, sure, shake the room.
That was Fresh Prince and DJ
Was
Jazzy
it?
Jeff. Yeah.
All right. That's my extent of Shaq's.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
DJ
his
Quick
Boom Shakalaka.
Produced a track on there, I think.
With Foo Schnickens.
Was Boom
DJ
Shakalaka?
Quick,
Was that Shaq?
Yeah, Pooh Schnickens. He had one
Shaq
with Peter Gunn.
Well, he dabbled in music. He released 4 rap albums in the 90s. His debut album, Shaq Diesel, which came out in 1993, went platinum, making him one of the few athletes to have a commercially successful music career. He even ended up collaborating later on with the Notorious B.I.G. and Jay-Z.
Was that the Deion Sanders effect? Because Deion was putting rap albums out?
No, I think.
I think there was always a time where a lot of athletes were doing that.
It was just the hip hop effect.
Hip hop. Charlie's in the chat. Charlie showed up just for us to talk about Shaquille O'Neal's penis. Finally, he was once the highest paid rookie in NBA history. When he was drafted number 1 overall in 1992 by the Orlando Magic, he signed a 7-year, $40 million contract, making him the highest paid rookie in NBA history. Now, by comparison, Steph Curry's current contract pays him $55 million for just this season. Inflation. His impact was immediate. He won the Rookie of the Year, broke backboards, and became one of the league's most dominant players within months. And I remember, because remember the teams that were always the big thing back in the day, but then, like, you could say the Bulls, but the Bulls won championships. Like, the Magic were one of those teams. The Charlotte Hornets were one of those teams. The Knicks were never one of those teams. I don't know what Frank's talking about.
The Knicks were one of those teams.
They were
the
not.
Rockets were one of those teams.
No.
The Pacers were one of those teams.
No, I'm talking about, like, pop culture teams that were a phenomenon for people who maybe didn't even follow basketball. And a bonus fact, he is a generous philanthropist. As you can see here at a Make-A-Wish Foundation with a sick child, Shaq is known for random acts of kindness. Often,
I got a funny story for you.
Does it involve Miami?
No, but it involves Kevin Hart.
All right, hold on. Shaq is known for random acts of kindness, often paying for strangers' meals, buying kids' shoes, and helping struggling families. He once bought a man an engagement ring on the spot after overhearing him in a jewelry store. And his philosophy is, I just like making people smile. Man, when he was a Laker, I hated watching that guy because I'm a Blazer fan.
No kidding.
But I'm a big fan of Shaq's now. So,
He's a great guy.
Tell us your story about this small child that's in this Make-A-Wish Foundation picture.
Did you see Jameis Winston being a correspondent for NFL Fox for the Super Bowl this past week?
I mean, I kind of saw passively. I never actually heard.
If you get a chance, go find the clips. They're online. They're actually pretty funny. Well, him and Bert Kreischer, the fat comedian that always takes his shirt off? Kreischer.
Jesus.
That they had them sitting in the crowd watching a Super Bowl together, and Bert brings up knowing Kevin Hart and asks if Winston has ever met Kevin Hart. And he's like, yeah, I did. Back in, I think it was either 2013 or 14, Hart had a show here in Tallahassee at the Civic Center, and went to the football team was there, and he really crapped on Winston at this event in front of the other players. And like a day later, he shows up into the locker room, and is still kind of like just making shade, making jokes at Winston. And Winston, he's like, man, I waited until his security guards left, And then when they left, I grabbed his little ass and I threw him on the ground. He said, "Don't you say that crap in front of my teammates. What the hell you did?" Just like basically roughed Kevin Hart up.
Jesus.
And he goes, "Yeah, so I don't think Kevin Hart and I are going to be good anymore."
They are not buddy, huh? All right, I got a quick quiz for you here on Shaq. All right. Can you guys name the teams that he played for?
He played for the Celtics, the Magic, the Lakers, the Kings.
Hold on. Jesus Christ. No, you just went rogue there. You're listening to just random fucking teams.
The Suns.
The Mavericks.
Going in order. 1992
Orlando,
to 96.
LA.
Okay, Orlando, LA.
Can't remember what
Celtics.
it is after that.
No, it wasn't
Miami?
Celtics. Yeah, it was Miami.
No, it was Miami. Yeah, it was Miami. Then the Celtics.
Nope.
Then
Oh,
Phoenix.
Phoenix. The
Yep.
big cactus.
Yep.
Then Boston.
Nope.
Dallas.
There was another team. before
Nope.
that.
Never played for Dallas.
Pacers.
Nope.
He just-
Bucks.
You guys are forgetting that he went to go play with LeBron.
He did?
Oh, in the
went
Cavs.
He
to the
played for the
Cavs?
Cavs 2009 to 2010.
Yeah, I
And
forgot
then
about
he wrapped up his
that.
career in Boston 2010, 2011.
There's the big leprechaun, is what he called himself, I think.
That was the big leprechaun year, yeah. All right.
Played for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No.
Shaquille.
All right, things that you might not know about the Osbournes. TV show that was on MTV back in the day. Feels weird saying that, but it debuted on March 5th, 2002. It lasted 4 seasons, 52 episodes. It wrapped up on March 21st, 2005.
I was there for every episode and was pissed off about the last one.
I remember that I watched the first season, and I think that was about it. And I remember it was right when I was getting into radio broadcasting, and that was one of the popular shows that we would pull like audio from to play on our college radio programs. But do you guys know what inspired the show?
The Jerry Springer Show?
Yeah.
Real World.
Real World. By the way, this is the LA cast, which I think was the second Real World. They recently did a like a reunion or something with some of these people. It's really weird. But yeah, the show was inspired by the Real World. MTV originally wanted a rock version of the Real World, and they approached Sharon Osbourne with the idea. Instead of featuring multiple bands, Sharon pitched a reality show centered entirely on their family, and MTV loved the idea. Now, here is why you can hate the Osbournes. Since it became one of the first celebrity reality TV shows, and it was so successful, it paved the way for shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Yay.
I've never seen an episode of it, so cheers to me.
We give that one 3 farts. All right, here we go. Ozzy hated the cameras in his house. Although Ozzy was the star, he reportedly hating having cameras constantly filming him. He later admitted that he often had no idea what was happening due to his heavy medication at the time. I believe that was marijuana. Because he came out afterwards and he said that he was stoned the entire time.
Yeah.
And he described filming as feeling like a lab rat in an experiment. I remember there was like a full 5-minute segment of him trying to put a goddamn garbage bag in the garbage bin.
Yeah. They would always do that. Or him trying to figure out which channel was changed by which button, and he couldn't figure out which remote would do it. Shut up!
Jack and Kelly became instant stars, but Amy refused to participate. Ozzy and Sharon's eldest daughter, Amy Osbourne, refused to be a part of the show because she wanted to stay out of the spotlight. She moved out of the house before filming began and has since distanced herself from the Osbourne reality TV empire. Although Shim and I asked her about it because we did get to interview her for, it was either Rockstar 101 or History of Rock. Meanwhile, Jack and Kelly became pop culture icons overnight, leading to their own spin-off projects and music careers. They were fucking obnoxious on this show, dude.
Yeah, they were.
Like, they were like the worst goddamn kids.
Well, but then you found out at the end it was all fake anyways.
Well, and then they have since, I think, turned into some pretty good human beings. Like, you know, they from what I can tell. Although I'm pretty sure that Kelly is on Ozempic because she's got that weird like skeleton look now.
Like Tom Brady?
And that drives me nuts, man. It was also one of the most heavily censored shows on MTV. The Osbournes swore so much that MTV had to add constant bleeping to make the episodes air-friendly. On average, the family swore nearly 60 times per episode, making it one of the most heavily censored shows in MTV history. Despite the excessive profanity, the show still became MTV's most watched series at the time. There's a couple scenes actually that I remember. There's one where Jack and Kelly are like, "Oh, we're going to go to this club and check out, I think it was Billy Corgan's band. And it was like a side project that he was doing. And for the life of me, Zwan was the name of the band. And I remember that was right when, because like I said, this is when I was just first getting into radio. I worked at the college radio station, and we had just gotten the Zwan single to play on the air. And I was watching. I'm like, "Oh, I know them! I know them!"
Billy Corgan, you mean Bill Burr's brother?
Yeah, that's all BS.
No, owner of NWA Wrestling.
There you go. And finally, Sharon Osbourne actually battled cancer during filming.
Yeah, remember that.
In 2002, while filming season 2, Sharon was diagnosed with colon cancer and had to go undergo chemotherapy. The show documented her health struggles, and Ozzy was deeply affected, often breaking down on camera. Sharon later said that the love from fans helped her through it, and she ultimately recovered fully. Okay, so one of the scenes I do remember is she's hanging out on the couch with her kids, and she sticks her hand down her pants. You remember this?
No.
And she, like, wipes herself down there, and then goes to wipe it on her kid. Seriously, go watch it. It's on the Osbournes, man.
Sharing the yeast.
Ugh. All right, moving on.
Did she call it Miami?
She did not call it Miami. It did not take place.
The only thing
It did not take place in Miami either.
I enjoyed that show until they did the final episode and you found out it was all scripted. And I remember everybody being pissed about that because remember they did where he like pretend kills the dog in his sleep, and they did the whole episode where he's like trying to hide that he killed the dog, but he was trying to tell his parents he did something bad. And when they get together and he's going to explain it to them, they all then like turn to the camera and go, "Ha!" And they show that the dog's okay. And it was like, everyone was like, "The fuck?" And then it was that whole thing where it was, wait, this whole thing's scripted, isn't it? And I think they took like.
I think this is before that we realized that producers on reality TV shows had a lot more to do with the storylines and the stuff that was going on.
And the fact that there's writers for reality television shows.
All right, Frank, here we go, buddy. This one's for you. The Big Lebowski. It was released on March 6th, 1998. Here are some things that you might not know about it. The budget was $15 million, and it made $47.4 million at the box office. Mm-hmm. Now, did you know that the dude was actually based on a real person?
Kramer?
No, that is not Kenny Kramer. Jeff Bridges' character, Jeff the Dude Lebowski, was inspired by Jeff Dowd, a real-life film producer and political activist. Dowd was a member of the Seattle Seven, which is mentioned in the film, and has a laid-back, eccentric personality similar to the dude. The Coen brothers met him while promoting Blood Simple and were fascinated by his chill, stoner-like attitude. Jeff Bridges never washed his costume. To make the dude's wardrobe look authentic, Jeff Bridges asked the costume department if he could wear his own clothes for the role. Yeah. Many of the baggy shorts, sandals, and sweaters he wears in the movie came straight from his closet. He also never washed his costume throughout filming to enhance the lived-in, disheveled look of the dude.
Sure, the smell was awesome.
Oof. Smells like musty white Russians.
Nobody fuck with a Jesus.
John Turturro helped create the Jesus character. John Turturro's character, Jesus Quintana, only appears in 2 short scenes, but he became one of the film's most memorable characters. Remember, 8-year-olds, dude. 8-year-olds. Turturro helped develop the character's mannerisms, including licking the bowling ball and his exaggerated strut. The Coen brothers loved his performance so much that they let him improvise several of his lines. You try any of that crazy shit with us? You flash a piece out on the lanes? I'll take it away from you. I stick it up your ass, and I pull the trigger till it goes click. Jesus. You
That's
said it,
right,
man.
Nobody fuck with a Jesus.
The bowling scenes were filmed in a real LA alley. The bowling alley featured in the film Hollywood Star Lanes was a real location in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, it was demolished back in 2002. But before closing, it became a pilgrimage site for Big Lebowski fans. Every bowling shot in the movie was performed by the actors except for one. A strike by Donnie. That was actually done by a pro bowler. I am the walrus. I am the walrus.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. You're out of your element. You're out of your
element, Donnie.
This is the problem with doing movies like this, is we're just going to start quoting it. And finally, Sam Elliott.
We would do at work.
He was cast specifically for his voice. The Coen brothers wrote the role of the Stranger, the film's cowboy narrator, specifically for Sam Elliott. Frank, that's what you need to do with your mustache when you shave your beard, man.
You know what I like about this, though? It's like, he goes, dude, I like you, but you always have to cuss so much. It's like, the fuck you talking about, man? It's like, all right, dude, have it your way.
So they loved his deep, iconic voice and didn't consider anyone else for the part. Elliott later said he had no idea what the movie was about while filming, but he trusted the Coens and went along for the ride. All right.
A frosty mug there.
That's one of the Earps. Earps.
He hasn't, I don't think he's ever aged since like the 90s. Like he's looked the same since he did.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, like he looked like he was 65.
Yeah.
Like 30
90s.
years ago, and he still looks 65.
Yeah. Now he's doing commercials with Gronk.
Here
Probably still doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah. He's like, what is insurance?
Who's this meathead?
Again, I think anytime I bring up the picture of something that we're talking about, we need to have Frank imitate something. Something. Of course, we're talking about Beavis and Butthead. It originally debuted on MTV March 8th, 1993. This was huge for my age group, man. Good God. So Beavis and Butthead were inspired by real people. Mike Judge based Beavis and Butthead on kids he observed in real life while living in Texas. He once recalled seeing a kid with a crazy laugh and another with braces and a blank stare, which helped inspire the characters' distinctive looks and voices. He originally created them for a 1992 short film called Frog Baseball, which aired on MTV's... You guys remember
Liquid Television?
Liquid Television.
I remember seeing that.
That was before leading to the full series. I remember getting sucked into Liquid Television, man.
Yeah, you get
Aeon
lost
Flux?
in that.
Yeah, you were kind of hoping that Aeon Flux, you'd see a boob or
the
something.
Max.
Yeah.
Oh, the Max. I still got the comics, man. MTV almost canceled the show early on due to the controversy. In the early 1990s, Beavis and Butthead faced major backlash for promoting reckless behavior. Other reports surfaced that a child set fire to his home after allegedly imitating Beavis. MTV removed all references to fire from the show. Beavis says, fire, fire, fire. Catchphrase was cut. Despite the controversy, the show remained a massive hit and continued on for years.
I remember that whole controversy because my mom caught wind of it and gave us that whole, you better not be watching this stuff. And it's like, yeah, okay, you're not here half the time. We'll watch what we want.
My dad piggybacked on this, and he used it as a way to introduce me to Cheech and Chong.
See, mine went the complete opposite. Mine was, you're not allowed to watch this.
He had the cassette tape, and I remember back in the day.
Control me, Mom.
Like he saw Beavis and Butthead, and he was telling me a story about how somebody at work was so upset about Beavis and Butthead and yada yada yada. And my dad's like, stuff like it's comedy and stuff like this has been around for ages. And then I remember he played the Cheech and the Cheech and Chong. No stems, no seeds that you don't need. Acapulco Gold is badass weed. The whole Dave's Not Here skit, all of that was on that cassette tape, man.
Dave's not here, man.
So the animation in Beavis and Butthead, it was very low budget. The first season had an extremely low budget, and the early animation was crude and choppy. Mike Judge voiced both Beavis and Butthead himself, recording their dialogue in his closet for better sound quality. As the show gained popularity, MTV increased the budget, leading to smoother animation and better production quality.
Like some kid drew that.
Beavis and Butthead had a sister show starring Daria.
Yep.
Daria Morgendorffer, the smart, sarcastic character from Beavis and Butthead, became so popular that MTV gave her own spin-off show in 1997 called Daria. It took a more intellectual and feminist approach, focusing on high school life through her sarcastic, deadpan perspective. Despite sharing the same universe, Daria rarely ever referenced Beavis and Butthead, as the creators wanted the show to stand on its own. And remember, that's also kind of where Hank Hill got his start.
Yep.
Yeah.
And who did the voice? Who did the voice of Daria? That
Was it Janine Garofalo?
Yeah, I think it was Janine Garofalo.
No, Tracy Grandstaff.
Ah.
Wow.
I
way
thought it
off.
was.
Yeah, I
thought
could
it was
have
Janine.
sworn that it was
That's the
Janine Garofalo.
Mandela effect.
Nah, I wasn't convinced enough that I think it was a Mandela effect.
I
think
was.
I think I'm just an idiot.
I was.
I never really got into Daria. Did you guys?
No.
Never watched it.
Yeah, it was for chicks. Please comment and like below.
Especially if you're a chick that
Yeah.
like watching Daria.
One of those broads, one of those hairy-pitted broads that watch Daria.
One of those educated, one of those educated women that know stuff.
Jesus Christ.
As we were watching Beavis and Butthead.
As we're talking about Shaq's penis.
Also, did you know the show was actually revived multiple times?
Yep. I think it's back on now, isn't it, on Comedy Central?
No, I think they just canceled it.
Oh, okay.
I think. So Beavis and Butthead had the original run ended in 1997. MTV revived it in 2011 with updated episodes where they watch reality TV instead of music videos.
Right.
Fucking hilarious, by the way. I'm here to tell you, if you have not watched those episodes, like when they're watching Jersey Shore, there's a scene where they're doing like a makeout board where they're talking about everybody who's made out with everybody on Jersey Shore, and Butthead goes, "If you follow this back far enough, you can find where herpes began." And then in 2022, Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe premiered on Paramount Plus, followed by a new season of the show with modern references like Beavis talking to Siri. Oh, and I think one of the more recent ones too is they go to an escape room because they follow these girls there because they want to hit on these girls, and then ultimately they just lock themselves in the women's bathroom and they think that that's the escape room, and they break open the tampon machine thinking that's one of the secrets. I'm telling you, dude. Like Mike Judge is so freaking underrated, man.
Look, Beavis,
And
I
then
found the key to women.
And of course, despite the time jump, their personalities and humor remain unchanged, proving their timeless appeal. There was another one too, back when the 2011 run, where Twilight was big, and they feel they need to either become a vampire or werewolf to get chicks. So they're walking around, and there's a homeless guy with rabies that bites them
Oh,
because they
Lord.
think he's a werewolf. So like a day later, they're deathly ill because they got rabies from this guy. And Beavis he's like just gaunt and sick, and he goes, "All right, let's go get some chicks." He goes to walk out of the house. Oh, I'm telling you, man, that's good stuff. All right, we're going to another blast from the past. Let's do this music. It's football, Frank. What do you think we're talking about right now, my man?
Super Bowl?
No, Super Bowl's done and over with. We are talking about
Free agency?
the Boz.
The boss.
He was born on March 9th, 1965. Now he trademarked his own name, his own nickname, the Boz. Brian Bosworth wasn't just a football player, he was a brand. Great 30 for 30 on him, by the way. Also, if you look up here, Kentucky hero Rex Chapman.
I was about to say, look at the Rex Chapman up there.
That's something I think we also need to do. Is I need to go just find old Sports Illustrateds just to see what's on the cover.
Woof. I still have one from when Florida State won their 2000 championship around here somewhere.
So while he was playing at Oklahoma, he embraced the nickname the Boz, known for his wild haircuts and rebellious attitude. He even trademarked the name, hoping to capitalize on merchandise sales. And at one point, he was actually banned from a college bowl game for failing a drug test. It was the 1987 Orange Bowl. He tested positive for steroids. Shocking.
Yeah, no shit.
Instead of staying quiet, he showed up on the sideline wearing a T-shirt that said, "National Communists Against Athletes."
Welcome to Russia.
Welcome to Russia, right on his dick.
Yeah. They won't let you juice yourself with roids.
This stunt got him kicked off the Oklahoma team, but it also made him even more of a rebellious icon.
You know what's funny about that? I was gonna say, you know what's funny about that shirt is Russia would have let him use the steroids.
They probably would have provided it for him.
Yeah, they would have said, please take more.
I mean, he's kind of got a Drago look going on
Yeah,
there.
he does look like Drago.
They love their athletes using steroids. They would have just gave them to him in friggin' salad. Eat more.
Bosworth had one of the worst NFL contracts in history. Despite playing just 2 seasons in the NFL, Bosworth signed a 10-year, $11 million contract with the Seattle Seahawks, making him one of the highest paid rookies at the time. Or making him the highest paid rookie at the time. His career was cut short due to injuries, and he never lived up to the hype. The Seahawks eventually voided the remaining years on his contract, making it one of the worst long-term deals in NFL history. And while he was a Seahawk, Bo Jackson ran his ass over.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember about him is my friends telling me how he got ran over.
I mean, if you watch it, it's really, I mean, like when you hear run over, you think that he just trucks him and just spills right over him. And it's not really the reality of what happened. But yeah, one of the most infamous moments in NFL history is when Bo Jackson, and this is the way that wrote this, was Bo Jackson absolutely trucked Bosworth during a 1987 Monday Night Football game. That's not, I mean, he does run over him and he scores a touchdown, but it wasn't really, you know, as it's
Bo
portrayed
Jackson's
there.
done that to how many
Yeah.
linebackers and defensive people?
By the way, we got screwed, man. With Bo Jackson injuring his hip, we could have had a lifetime of that guy just being amazing.
You know who originally
And
drafted
football
him?
and baseball.
You know who originally drafted Bo Jackson?
Who originally drafted Bo Jackson?
Tampa Bay.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers originally drafted Bo Jackson?
Yeah, remember he was going to sit out the whole year and go play baseball, so they had to trade him. He could have been a Buck, but he didn't want to because he knew that they sucked.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Or he threatened to sit out, I think is what it was, if they drafted him, or something like that.
A month before the 1986 NFL Draft, Tampa Bay Buccaneers owner and Alabama alum Hugh Culverhouse took Bo Jackson on a private jet to visit with the team and get a physical during his senior baseball season. Jackson was told by the Buccaneers that the trip had been cleared by the NCAA and SEC. In truth, it had not. And because the SEC barred athletes from being professional in one sport and amateur in another, he was declared ineligible near the tail end of his senior baseball season. Years later, Jackson told ESPN that he has long believed the Buccaneers sabotaged his collegiate baseball career because of the season he was having. He was so angry at the Buccaneers' actions that he vowed never to play it down for them, going as far as to tell Culverhouse, "You draft me if you want. You're going to waste a pick. I can promise you that."
Yep.
Despite all of that, the Buccaneers drafted Jackson with the first overall pick in 1986 draft.
Yeah, because that was a smart owner.
Jackson turned down the Buccaneers contract offer. He had a 3-year contract with the Kansas City Royals, and the Buccaneers forfeited his rights before the 1987 draft, choosing to sleep in rather than attend the 1987 NFL draft. Jackson found out that he was selected in the 7th round by the Los Angeles Raiders.
There you go.
I like how he pivoted from the Boz to Bo
Jackson. Let's talk about how big their. Let's talk about how big their.
Let's talk about
were.
Stone Cold, the movie.
Oh, he transitioned to acting after football. Look at Land, baby. After his
William
short
Forsythe and Lance Henriksen, man, it's a great movie.
After his short NFL career, Bosworth moved to Hollywood and starred in action movies, trying to reinvent himself. His 1991 film Stone Cold was supposed to be his big breakout, but it flopped at the box office. Despite this, he continued acting in B movies and TV roles, eventually gaining a cult following. Good call,
Lance
Land.
Henriksen
Good call.
is a
Now he
great
does
guy in that
now he
movie.
does Dr. Pepper commercials.
Yeah, he does. He's the sheriff, isn't he?
He's the sheriff of whatever town that is, Fansville. Hey, it's Buffy.
We're ready to talk about a show that's right up these guys' alley.
Never seen an episode.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Same.
Seen the movie.
I remember,
I have a comic book.
and I remember seeing the movie, and then I specifically remember the spot where I saw a billboard for the TV show when it was first coming out, and I was like, really? Like, they're turning that into a TV show? That's going to last a couple of episodes. It did not. It debuted on March 10th, 1997. It lasted 7 seasons, 144 episodes, and wrapped up on May 20th, 2003, and there's potentially a revival coming out.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I even remember, Land, it was on McLaughlin where I saw that billboard.
Sarah McLaughlin?
No. Now, the network originally did not want Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy at first. This is where I find this a little bit confusing. Not this part. It's where she was originally auditioning for the role of Cordelia Chase, not Buffy. This is where this line confuses me a little bit. So if you can correct this or anything in the comments, let me know below. The network wanted someone blonder and more all-American for Buffy, while Gellar was seen as more of a Cordelia type. After multiple auditions, Gellar convinced producers she had the perfect mix of strength, humor, and vulnerability needed for Buffy.
Buffy.
He looks way too European. That's why.
Yeah.
They wanted a Reese Witherspoon.
Yes. The fight scenes were so intense that stunt doubles were used heavily. While Gellar did some of her own stunts, her stunt double, Sophia Crawford, handled most of the fight scenes, especially the more dangerous ones. James Marsters, who played Spike, however, insisted on doing most of his own stunts, leading to multiple injuries, including a concussion. He later admitted he was told, "You need to let the stunt people do their job or you're going to die." Seth Green, baby.
Seth Green, he was 28 in that.
Was he?
He was like, I think he was like, what, 15 or 16
So
when
that-
he did,
so-
when he did.
Wait, who's the
It.
girl to the left of Buffy?
Charisma Carpenter?
Is
Or
that who that
Allison
is?
Hannigan?
No, Charisma Carpenter.
This is
Time
Charisma
at
Carpenter.
band camp.
I think that's Cordelia. That's the one that they originally.
Who's
didn't
ears?
have
Who's
her.
ears McGee at the end there? Who could fly away like Ben Stiller?
Dumbo.
70. Yeah, he would have been like 23 when the show first came out.
His best movie was Airborne. That's all I'll say.
Seth Green?
Yeah.
No.
You ever seen Airborne?
No. Can't hardly wait, dude.
Airborne takes the cake. He basically played the character he was going to play in Can't Hardly Wait. Not
Allison
really.
Hannigan hated kissing scenes with both Seth Green and Alexis Denisoff. Her character Willow had two major romantic storylines, one with Seth Green and another with Alexis Denisoff. Hannigan said she hated filming kissing scenes because they always felt awkward and embarrassing. Ironically, she ended up marrying Alexis in real life after they met on the show. There was a full musical episode that almost didn't happen. Joss Whedon wrote the entire musical episode himself, but the cast was terrified at the idea of singing. Sarah Michelle Gellar begged Whedon to let her use a voice double, but he refused, making her train and record her own vocals. Despite the actor's initial fears, the episode became one of the most celebrated TV musical episodes ever. And finally, the show changed TV rules about death and darkness. So this is from an episode called The Body. This is the one where Buffy's mom, Joyce, dies.
She's dead?
Yeah. It was groundbreaking for not using background
So
music.
She's just exhausted.
No, to
Damn
enhance
kids.
realism. It's a pretty brutal scene because she comes home and she's like looking for her mom and stuff, and she just turns around and like There she is.
Okay. Been a long day.
The series finale's decision to empower all potential slayers instead of keeping Buffy unique was a huge shift in storytelling, reinforcing the show's themes of female strength and agency.
It's almost a horrible shot right there.
Yep. Apparently, Anna was all about the show. James Marsden, don't respect it. No, not James Marsden. James Marsters is the guy's name. The guy that played Spike. His name's James Marsters.
There's a guy named Spike.
Yeah, he was in the. He was one of the vampires in the show. All right, you guys ready for the last one here?
Is it about bones?
And it's not about bones.
Boons?
Oh, yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be good.
It's good.
All right, here we go.
Genius!
We get to make fun of Terrance Howard, ladies and gentlemen. He was born March 11th, 1969. And I'm telling
Unless
you,
we did the math wrong.
I'm telling you, I'm already gonna get comments on this one because people will believe this dude's BS. Number one, Terrance Howard believes that 1 × 1 = 2. It's not a joke. He literally tweeted that here's his proof.
Yeah, it went on Rogan and did the same thing.
He claims that traditional multiplication is incorrect and that 1 × 1 actually equals 2. He argues that multiplication is flawed and that his own system, which you're going to get to in a minute, teriology, fixes it. Here's why he's wrong.
Teriology.
Teriology.
Multiplication is repeated addition. So 1 × 1 simply means one set of 1. That equals 1. Howard's idea contradicts basic arithmetic, algebra, and real-world applications like physics and engineering.
But no, man, they don't know what they're talking about because they're doing the wrong math and science.
He has spent years developing his own math system, teriology. He's even got Neil deGrasse Tyson commenting on his stuff. Howard has spent years developing his alternative mathematical system, which he calls teriology. He believes his equations can explain the universe in a way that mainstream science cannot. Here's why he's wrong. Math is universally consistent, and every major mathematical theory has been rigorously tested. His system lacks formal proofs and has no real-world applications.
Because he did it when he was on drugs.
No, the sad thing is he probably wasn't on drugs.
He had one joint, then he had another joint, and all of a sudden he had 4 joints.
He learned it from Iron Man.
I was War Machine.
He tried to patent his own symbols for physics and math. Howard attempted to patent his own set of mathematical symbols which he believed would redefine math and physics. He claimed these symbols could revolutionize technology, though experts dismissed them as nonsense. And here's why he's wrong. Patents do not apply to fundamental mathematical principles as math is discovered, not invented. His ideas are not backed by peer-reviewed scientific research. Next up, he believes that he has discovered the true wave function of the universe.
Yeah.
Howard stated that he has solved the mysteries of the universe by redefining how energy and waves work. He claims his work proves modern physics is wrong and that his ideas could lead to a new scientific revolution.
Jesus.
Here's why he's wrong. The wave function in quantum mechanics is a deeply studied and experimentally verified concept. Einstein, Schrödinger, Heisenberg's equations have stood the test of time with practical applications in computers, nuclear energy, and space travel. And finally, he also claims that he grew crystals with his using his math system.
Did he mean crystal meth?
Well, that one in his right hand is blue, so. Howard claimed that using his teriology system, he was able to grow perfect crystalline structures. He suggested these crystals prove his mathematical theories and can be used for advanced engineering applications. Here's why he's wrong. Crystal growth follows well-documented principles of chemistry and physics. His claims lack scientific documentation or independent verification.
Why did he go with teriology? Why not Howardology? That sounds like it would actually be something, Howardology.
Or like howology, how the universe works.
Because when you
Look
say
at these
Terry,
crystals I grew, everybody. I have no proof that I did it, but I grew them.
Look what
When you
happens
say
when
my
I
math.
put it in this glass pipe and I turn it on fire.
Did
When
you
you
guys
say-
ever see the YouTube video or the video of him like proposing to like some African country to fund his like hydrogen or hydration technology or
No.
something?
No, but I want to now.
Yeah, look it up on YouTube. That's where I first saw it. It's freaking
Terrence
ridiculous.
Howard, what was it? He's
Hydrogen Project.
It's something like that. I don't know. It was like he's asking like this ruler of an African country or something like that to fund him.
Was it one of the guys from Nigeria that are the princes that
It's
have
like,
all of
Yeah,
the
it was-
it's like, I got an email from this guy.
No, but
it-
he was
I'm saying-
actually there in person talking to this ruler or whatever it was.
Well, they'll meet with anybody. Teriology makes me think of Terry Crews.
Oh, Uganda.
Like it's something like Terry Crews would say, like, "Oh, you want some teriology?" As he rips his shirt off and makes his
Hell yeah, that would be
testicles
great.
bounce.
Yeah, and then
I
it would
wanna
make
rip
me
off
want to
some
go buy
Teriology.
Old Spice.
He almost looks like Lando Calrissian in that photo.
You want a cheeseburger?
He would make a
Teriology.
good Lando Calrissian.
Well, he would have until his math went,
He is a scoundrel.
And they're both full of
Others.
shit.
out of his brain.
Which, by the way, before we wrap up the whole stream here, I gotta say, because as we were talking about, earlier, we did the movie draft,
Oh.
and I gotta
Give me
bring
back
up.
my son.
No, not ransom. There's still stories that can be told here, but they need to be told properly because for as far as the movie is concerned with Solo, a Star Wars story, I didn't think it was a terrible movie. I just thought the actor didn't look anything like Han Solo.
I
Agree.
wasn't a fan of the movie. The
Like, that
Kessel
kinda took
Run
you out.
really threw me
I
off.
liked it.
I thought the movie was
Giant-
good. I didn't like certain things where it was like, oh, you
Space
don't have anybody
octopus.
with you and you don't know your last name? Han Solo. Like,
Well, that's Disney corny shit,
yeah,
you know?
it's like you don't need
But
to
what-
do all
But
of
also, what director was responsible for that? Because remember, they had two before, and then like halfway through filming, they were like, "Oh, this movie's shit," and they removed him and put Howard on. So what part were they responsible for?
that. I think Howard was the one that probably made it watchable.
Okay.
And,
So
but
the-
again, I don't know. I mean, obviously we don't know what the original cut was like, but
I just remember like a studio, like some of the actors had gone to the studio execs and like, dude, you guys need to really check out this footage because it was becoming more like fart and dick joke funny is where the original actor or directors were taking it. And like a producer watched it, or one of the people from like Disney watched it and went, holy shit. And that's when they went in and told them they need to change everything up or they're gone. And they're like, we're not going to go. We're stand by our art. And they're like, all right, you're out. and they brought Howard in.
well, I
But
mean,
then, yeah, like the end credit scene, I mean, you can't just leave that.
yeah, with Darth Maul. Yeah,
with
that's
Darth
what I'm
Maul.
saying. Like, there's stories there, and then even then, I still think we need more Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian. Like
Weren't they going to do a
he was
series
amazing.
or movie with him?
they were
Yeah,
going to do
was- that was
something,
not
and
gonna
then
happen?
when this one kind of crapped the bed, they just sort of moved away
Well,
from
I
the
th-
whole
I
thing.
thought
And
they
then
were-
you
I
also
thought-
had Daenerys in there. Naomi Woods.
I thought they were still doing something with his character. Like Lando was going to get a series, but then even back
No,
off
I
of
think
it the
they, I
last,
think
like,
they
year or two.
were. But again, I think after this kind of bombed, they were like, we're going to take a look at that again. Although I did hear good things about Skeleton Crew. So I do want to go back and watch. And I watched like maybe the first half of the first episode, and it's okay. But quick TV notes here. If you have Apple TV, watch Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn. It's a great show. And my wife and I got sucked into the new OJ documentary. Dude, he fucking totally did it, man.
He did it.
Jesus Christ! Like, what more did you need? Totally fucking did it. We watched that verdict when I was a senior in high school. Was I a senior?
We watched it in high school.
Yeah, during class.
Yeah, during class.
When was the verdict? I want to say senior,
was-
but I don't think it was.
It was in 90. I think it was in like 95, wasn't it?
Then we wouldn't have been seniors.
No, I would have been. Yeah, it was 95. He was found not guilty. Yeah, but I remember watching it in class.
I was
Yeah.
a freshman in high school, and we didn't have like I think I was at lunch when the verdict came out, and I just remember people talking about it. And it was the whole racial divide. Like all the black kids were like, yeah, he's innocent, and all the white kids were like, fuck him, he's guilty.
How did
It was like
our school was
I was
all
like-
white kids.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just here to eat lunch. So
I take it back. Not all
You
white
guys
kids.
do your thing.
Our school was all white kids and Asians, right, Lane?
Yeah. There were like what, three black guys?
Portland, Oregon. Woo!
so your football team.
Now,
was
now you go to high school. Now it's all Asians, Mexicans, and other races, and then it's like very, very little white people.
Well,
They're
down
very
here,
small.
down here in El Paso. I mean, I'm just saying.
South of the border,
Yeah, pretty
down
much.
Mexico way.
Yeah, no, we've been watching that, and it's like the documentary keeps going through all the evidence and stuff, and it was like they literally found his blood with her blood and Ron Goldman's blood in his truck, but that was never never
thrown
actually
out.
put into evidence.
I think it's like they did the search wrong or something, and it was thrown out.
Well, they do go into detail about how much of a piece of shit Mark Furman was.
Yeah.
Or I guess he's still around.
He's
because
still around.
they went and found he's in the documentary even now talking about it, and it's
Yeah.
like you go back and it was like he filed a lawsuit against the city because he was basically saying that he can't be a police officer because he hates black people so much.
yeah. That's what. That's
what
what.
the hell? Like really,
That's what got a
dude?
lot of things thrown out, and what really turned that on him because I mean
God.
they made it about the race.
And the one story that I always remember too
Johnny Cochran.
is if you listen to Dan Patrick, he was doing an interview with OJ when he was at ESPN, and they're sitting in a room, and this was back when they still used actual film. And as he's filming the interview, they run out and they're like, hold on, we got to change reels. And so there's just this awkward silence. And OJ just looks at him and he goes, you think I did it, don't you? And Dan's like, he's like, I didn't know what to say. Like, I had no idea how to react to that. I mean, yeah, I do. What do you want me to say, man? He said it
I
was
still like that
fucking
Saturday
terrifying.
Night Live when they had Tim Meadows as OJ, and you had, I think it was Will Ferrell in one of his earlier times as the head coach of the Bills. He's like, yeah, let's see how you ran that play. And, like,
Oh,
he
he
draws
went,
an
"I did
eye,
it." Yeah.
and then he did it, and the guy's like, I don't want to be here right now. Some crap like that, and then Tim Meadows like, yeah.
It's one of my favorites. All right, on that note, that's going to wrap up for this stream. Let me double check my dates here. We got 2 more streams coming up. We are going to stream on the 19th. We are going to stream on the 26th. And then there is not going to be a stream on the 5th. And there might not be one on the 12th or maybe even the 19th because we're going to be moving. And essentially, I'm going to have to pack up my whole studio and then go rebuild the damn thing.
Yeah.
So there might be a full 3 weeks off of the live streams, but make sure you guys have the notifications turned on YouTube. I don't really post about the live streams anymore on social media because Instagram and Facebook can go fuck themselves. So just make sure that you have you're clicking that little bell. So whenever a new video comes out or when we do go live, you're going to get that notification. You're also going to start seeing less videos from me. I know. That's hold on. Let me get where's my sound effects here? Yeah, hold on. So I'll get the behind the curtain here real quick. So essentially, my YouTube numbers are way down from where they had been over like back in December. And as I tracked it, and I've been kind of researching it a little bit, is that you technically can post too much on YouTube because it doesn't allow the algorithm to actually kick in and push the video out because a new one's then uploaded. I mean, I'm on YouTube right now. I'm uploading 4 shorts a day. There's usually 3 that are just me doing the did you know stuff, and then there's another one that's a clip from the live streams. Those live stream ones are going away because it's extra work that I need to do. the views aren't really good on those at all, and it's also just extra content that might be clogging it up. So you will still get the 3 regular videos a day and the longer form stuff that's pulled out of these live streams. But yeah, so that's you're not going to see those other clips coming up here in a couple of days. Are going to be, I think those are going to run out. But on that note, also, once I do get moved over into the new house, I wouldn't mind kicking off like a nice gaming night or something on a Friday or Saturday, maybe play some Jackbox or something like that. So on that note, have a fantastic rest of your week, and we'll see you guys again 7 p.m. Mountain Time here next Wednesday on the 19th. Say goodbye, Lance. Say goodbye, Frank.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Frank.
You guys want to talk about?
Yeah, Shaq probably has a decent sized penis.
I gotta hold on. Curious. Clip. Thank you.